Hello, as you can see, I'm not near my home. I am close to civilization, but listen to the silence right now. Just birds chiming. That's the only thing you can hear. And then in the far distance, you can hear the highway. So the reason I've come out here is to show off a church that I live or that is nearby. A church that I love and I have a lot of good history or memories with it, and it holds it's dear to my heart. There's something about the church that I just adore. So yeah, I'm going to show it from the outside, not from the inside, because I haven't asked for permission from the priest to film, and I'm not sure if I'm allowed to film like in a religious way, allowed to film inside the church, especially if I haven't asked for permission from the priest. But so yeah, that's the reason that I want to show off the inside, but I'll show you the outside. This is my church, my fantastic church, and I will tell you a bit of its history, but I'll just give you a better view of the church. So you can see it, and then I'll go for a walk and talk about its history. So that's the church. That is the church. It's pretty cool. So let me talk about its history. But before that, I want to mention that I'm quite impressed that it's so quiet. Damn. I have to make sure I don't dox myself and expose exactly where I live without people having to do any kind of homework and work. Damn, I gotta blur out that sign. Yeah, so the history of the church. So it was built in the 1100s by a rich lord in the area named Asa Rick. It was built by him and his love. I'm not sure if it was his wife, but it said that it was built by Asa Rick and Miss something, but it's not that important. So then, because it was the 1100s, there was war, and Asa Rick had to go to war and leave the miss at home, and the miss was pregnant. So while he was about to leave town to go to war, he said to the miss who was pregnant with his kids, if you give birth to a son, or forgot to mention something. Yeah, so Asarik and Miss was building this church, and then when he was about to leave, they weren't finished with the construction, and he gave the control of the construction of the church to the miss. And then he said to the miss while he was about to leave, if you give birth to a son, then build a tower on the church. If you give birth to a daughter or girl, then build a spire. And then when Asarik came home, he noticed that there were 2 towers on the church, signaling that his miss had given birth to twin boys, and those 2 boys would become extremely influential to the entire history of Denmark. It's quite cool. So those 2 boys were called Espen Snar. That's how we actually pronounce it. And then Absalon, who became a bishop, a famous bishop. So yeah, that's the story. But yeah, it has later been proved that it isn't real. It's a fake story. Both because it was published that in a research document that Espen Snare and Absalon weren't actually twins, meaning that that story doesn't really make sense, but also because, as I showed you on the stones used to build the church, you can clearly see a switch or some time. You can definitely see when something has been rebuilt or built upon a already built thing. I'll show you. Oh no, I hear a car. Gotta act normal, so putting the camera down. Third away, we're good. We survived. We survived without any embarrassment from an unknown stranger that I would never probably see again. So, as you can see, there's a clear difference between the stone at the bottom and then the stone at the top, meaning that the building of the 2 towers would have taken place a lot later than the bottom part of the church, meaning they weren't constructed, they weren't built at the same time, meaning the story is fake because the towers were added later on. So not a cool story, or not a real story, but a cool story. And yeah, hopefully I didn't expose myself when I walked back. Who knows? But yeah, that's the story. So the reason that I love this church isn't only because of its cool story, but also because of its memories. So I've gone to that church nearly every year for Christmas, preach the 24th of December. Nearly every year I've gone to the church and listened to the priest preaching and singing songs. And yeah, also a reason that I don't have any bad memories is probably because I haven't thankfully buried anyone on this church, not anyone that I know of. So there's not anything bad associated with the church, this church, not any dead people that I can remember and have met lies there, is buried. So yeah, sadly this Easter I forgot to go to the church. That would be probably the first time that I would have been to a Easter prayer, Easter preaching on Easter day, or what you call it. Sadly I forgot it somehow. Yeah. But yeah, I will try to remember it and remember the special times, the special days when something important to the history of Christianity happened. Yeah. Wonderful day. I decided to do it a bit late, record this video a bit late on the day. The clock is around 8 p.m. So the sun isn't directly shining on me, and it's cloudy right now, even though it's probably 24 degrees Celsius. Earlier today it was 28, 29, and it was really hot. And yeah, probably wouldn't have been fun to record a video with a extremely bright sun shining down. So that is it for this video. Thank you for watching and listening to my story. Yes. Quick look at the church. Okay. Thank God for what He does. Have a wonderful day. God bless you. Bye.